received a couple of questions about how I swatch my mists, and so that's what this video is going to be about. I'm not a big swatcher. I don't have swatches of all of my inks or all of my mediums that I have, but I find that because I reach for my mists so often and because I do have a largish selection of them, I find it easy to have them just swatched on hand. So what I mean by swatches is just these samples, and what I use is a tag, which I cut because I don't want to use store-bought tags for this because I'd have quite a lot. So I have this Tim Holtz Alterations die. It's called Tag and Tie, and I just cut a whole bunch of them at a time. I do have some left over, but I'm about to use them all up. So I'm going to make a couple more, and I just wanted to tell you how I do that. It's pretty straightforward, but this is inexpensive white cardstock. I buy this at Staples in a big package, and I use this for my printables as well. And then this is just a piece of brown cardstock. This is Stampin' Up. I can't remember what color it's called. But I like to have a couple of brown tags because when I spray white sprays, which is one of the things I'm going to be spraying today, is this Heidi Swap white, which I don't have a sample of yet. And I'm also going to be spraying my 3 new mists. So I have 3 mists that are not new that I just, for some reason, never did spray swatches of. So I'm going to do those today. And I have these 3 beautiful colors of mist to spray as well. So before I do that, I am going to cut a couple of more because if I sprayed all those, first of all, I don't have a dark tag to spray. Second of all, I'd use them all up, and then if I get a couple of more mists as I go along, I don't want to have to drag this out every single time. So I'll just go grab my Big Shot. Here it is. And because this is a steel rule die, I don't need my platform, so I can get rid of this. And because this is a steel rule die, I can cut lots of these at once. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this paper into maybe thirds. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have 2 pieces of white paper and 1 piece of brown, and that might be a little bit too much for one pass. I'll cut 3 at a time. And the nice thing about this steel rule die is that it does have this little magnetic piece here, which means that my cutouts are not going to get stuck inside. I don't need the tag and I don't need the reinforcers for what I'm doing today, so I'm just going to run this through. I need to get new mats, new cutting pads. So there's 3 tags. So I'm just speeding up this process for you guys so you don't have to watch me go through this 3 different times. I could have cut these all at once. I just didn't for some reason. I'm pretty sure that 6 or 9 pieces of paper is fine. You can cut chipboard and everything with a steel rule die. So back to the video. So the way that I store these is just on a shower curtain, just because I had one on hand, but you could store it on a binder ring or thread them through just a ribbon. I just tied some ribbon here. I don't know why, just kind of for decoration, I guess. So I didn't have just like a plain old shower curtain. So I'm going to mist my samples now. And just let me grab all my mists here. And the way that I do my samples for mists is I want to be able to see what this mist is going to look like when it's misted and when it's splattered. So I do both a mist and a splatter for each one. I'm going to start with the white mist. This is white Heidi Swap, which I am not all that happy with, but there is a ball in there and it has to, you really have to shake up Heidi Swap mist a lot because there's a lot of shimmery substance in the bottom And if you don't mix it up enough, you won't have enough color in your, oh my goodness. I'm not all that happy with this mist, to be honest with you. It takes a lot of shaking, even more than the other Heidi Swap mists, and it doesn't mist all that opaquely compared to the Mr. Huey's opaque white. There's a downside to the Mr. Huey's opaque white because it takes a very long time to dry. So I'm going to start with a mist, like that. See how it just kind of absorbs into the paper. And now I will do some splatters with it. So there we go. So the thing that this swatch will tell me about this Heidi Swap mist is that it takes on the color of the cardstock. In this case, it's kind of taking on a brown or almost like a gray look on top of the cardstock. This is actually good information for me to have because it means that this color is pretty unpredictable. I wouldn't have expected it to look so gray on this. So that tells me that I might need to really test this out on individual pieces of paper instead of just relying on the swatch. But I am going to leave this swatch in my swatch samples because look at the difference between opaque white on the same cardstock. I think this is the same cardstock. It looks slightly different, but it might be different just because of being exposed to the light. Yeah, it's the same. The back of it is the same. So quite a difference in how opaque white looks for Mr. Huey's and Heidi Swap. So I'm going to put those side by side because I will probably tend to look for them at around the same time to compare. So then, I don't do anything fancy. All that I do is I just take my marker and I write the name of the color. So HS stands for Heidi Swap, and the name of this color is white. And I just kind of do it in the same corner for all of them, but it's not like all that neat or anything. So that's my first one. I'll put you on fast forward for the rest of these because you probably don't need to see every detail of me doing this swatches. So I went ahead and cut out some of this, but I went and misted each of these colors onto a separate tag, and then I opened it up and dripped some splotches as well. And I'm going to come back and that will all be done. So now I'm just going to write the names of the mists on the back of each one. So this one is MH for Mr. Huey's, and the color is called Sky. Now this one is the Mr. Huey's skyscraper, and it won't mist. The nozzle is broken. It actually won't press down. It's not that there's a clog, it's that the nozzle won't spray. So I'm gonna write down Mr. Huey's skyscraper, and I'm gonna put won't spray. That way I know already that I can't miss this one. Look at this beautiful color. Oh my gosh, I love this. So this is the Heidi Swap, and it is called Citron. And then this one is the Heidi Swap. What's this color called? Teal. So when I put these on my ring, I'm going to want to put them in approximate color family. I am not all that organized, so I don't really care, but I do want the blues to be in around the other blues because when I'm looking at these colors, I'm going to be wanting to compare all the different shades of some of these are very, very low, and I'm going to have to start getting rid of tags soon and getting rid of the colors, that go, the bottles that go with them. So I will put that one in amongst the other blues. I will put the gold in amongst my other gold. Where do I have my gold? There's silver, some browns. I might have put gold in with yellow because I store it with yellow, so that's makes good sense to me. So here's my Studio Calico Mr. Huey's gold compared to the Heidi Swapp gold. Then the black will go back with the other blacks and grays. And then the green will go with the other greens that I have. Okay, so I have it all organized. Slip that back on. It's a little bit tricky to get it to go through all those holes. And then now my color swatches are completely up to date. I'll show you how I store my mists as well. I just have to take you off of the tripod. So this is how I store my mists. I'll just take a step back so you can see the overall unit. My room is a bit of a mess, but that's the Making Memories Embellishment Center. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure that Recollections makes one now that Making Memories doesn't, is out of business. But you see that I store them loosely by color family. So these are all my reds and pinks. I don't have many reds because it looks like blood splatter. And then these are my oranges and yellows, and then these are greens, and as they approach to greeny blues, and then these are my blues, and then these are my, this is silver and white, and then my other neutrals are right up there. So these are all various shades of brown and black. So that's how I store my mists. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you found this video helpful. To the person who asked me the most recent question about these, if you had any other questions, if I didn't answer your question in this video, just let me know, leave me a message, and I will try to clarify. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.